Today we're going to talk about filmmaking gear and why what you have doesn't mean shit. So recently I just got this comment on one of my Instagram pictures that sparked the idea for this video. Someone came onto my Instagram and commented about the tripod I was using and said, bro, it looks like you need to upgrade your sticks. It's about that time. And so this got me to thinking, there's a lot of people out there for whatever reason that think you need the latest, greatest, and best pieces of gear to make the best films, music videos, content, etc. And whether the comment was to put me down or to just simply make the comment like, looks like you need better sticks, regardless, there's this mindset out there that people seem to think, like I mentioned, that you need a certain level of gear to produce content, and that's just not the fact. Whatever gets the job done gets the job done. Early on, when I first started making music videos, I was using a T2i. All the time I was using a T2i and then upgraded to a 5D, but when I was using the T2i and the 5D, I would constantly be asked questions about, did I shoot this on a RED camera? What RED camera did I use? And I was shooting those videos on T2is and 5Ds. Ultimately, it comes down to knowing your equipment and knowing your gear and how to get the best out of it. Filmmaking equipment is like a tool, just like a painter, right? A painter has paintbrushes. Just because he has the nicest paintbrush in the world does not mean he's going to be a good painter or make a good painting. To make a good painting, you have to know your craft, you have to know the art, you have to know which brush strokes you're gonna use. And it's the same thing, there's different strokes or different brushes for different strokes, and it's all about the knowledge, the art, and how to bring it all together to make that good painting. Just because I have the top of the line paintbrush or the top of the line camera does not mean I'm gonna make a good video. Same thing with the tripod. The tripod I had in the picture for the shoot got the job done and was exactly the tripod I needed for the shoot. Had I needed a bigger and better tripod, I would have either rented one or bought one. So I want to let you guys know that you don't need the latest and greatest pieces of equipment. Yes, it can help, but you can still make great pieces of content on really no budget equipment. In fact, 2 new Hollywood films coming out, one of which is a new horror film. I forget the title offhand, but it was shot completely on Sony a7S IIs. I think they used 6 Sony a7S IIs, and it's just, they shot the whole Hollywood film on a Sony a7S II. Basically a camera that most of you have in your camera bag, and it was a Hollywood film. So this notion of like, oh, I need a RED camera to make good videos is just completely false. Or, oh, you need a better tripod to make that video. The point I'm trying to make is, as long as you know the craft, you have the artistic vision and mind behind it, and know how to get the most out of your camera, from the settings to the recording to the post-production to the coloring to the editing to the exporting and all above, that's all that matters. So I don't want anyone out there who's watching this video to be discouraged, like, oh, I only have this camera, I can't make the types of videos he's making. That's false. Just learn your gear inside and out, and learn the craft behind the gear as well, from the lighting, the editing, the coloring, the exporting, all that goes into the craft of filmmaking, video production, content creation. Master that, and it doesn't matter the gear that you have. I've seen plenty of videos shot on the RED that look like crap, and I've seen a lot of videos shot on smaller DSLRs that look amazing. And then the other film, there's been a couple actually shot entirely on an iPhone. Entire movie shot on an iPhone. There's been a couple of them. I don't remember the titles offhand. I'll throw up some screenshots here. But the entire movies, these are Hollywood films or movies that have come out that have been shot on cameras like an iPhone and a Sony a7S II. So there really is no excuse as to like, oh, I need this bigger and better camera to make worthy pieces of content, films, commercials, etc. Don't let the lack of gear stop you from creating. Early on, all I had when I first started making videos was a T2i and a kit lens, nothing else. And that's when I started going ham on music videos, shooting for Futuristic, shooting for Kyle, shooting for DY and all these artists, and ultimately climbed the ladder and got to where I'm at today. But all I had was a T2i and a kit lens. There's people with much more than that still making excuses. So don't let the lack of gear be an excuse as to why you can't go out and create. All right, so that's all I really wanted to touch on today. If you guys have any comments, questions about this video or anything I said, hopefully I covered everything that I wanted to cover. But yeah, leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully this video helped, like I said, and yeah, I'm out of here. Jakob Owens for the Buff Nerds. I'm out.